be live. Yo, what's up everyone? Happy Wednesday. Today, Wednesday, March 6th. How's everybody doing? The stream looks a little different, but can you guys... Actually, I know why, but why does the stream look different today? It actually looks really different, in my opinion, just looking at the screen here. But I'm curious if you guys are able to point out what is the most different about the what you're seeing on the screen. What about... Justin K is right, it is the lighting, but what about the lighting? There's only 2 changes actually with regards to the lighting. Actually 3 changes. First up today was Kale130 though. What's up, Kale? What's up, Giant Robots? What's up, Arflet? There's big time tech drama, nuclear level tech drama. What's the tech drama this week? I'm not sure if you put it down below. What's up, Staying? Let's see. We got Craig Lilly in the house. We got Rich Mantea. Is the PC yours? The PC that I'm building, yes, I will be keeping and using. Toss mesh. I'm going ectoplasm. I don't even know what that means. And I don't know if that's inappropriate or not. When I think ectoplasm, I think of like that South Park episode with Randy, but you know. Will I be able to build this in 20 minutes or less? I don't think so. Usually builds with AIOs and stuff like that. And extra fans, they take more than... Dude, even the quickest, simplest build will probably take around 25 to 30 minutes. You know what's gonna take a long time? Unboxing everything today. Unboxing and finding all the extra accessories and screws and stuff that comes with it, but yeah. What's up, Firestorm? What's up, Victor? Let's see... Baby Yoda says, hey cutie. What's up, Luke M. Silver? What do I think of Yuzu shutting down? I mean, I am a fan of emulation. I personally don't emulate a bunch. So, I mean, I think it sucks for all the people who are into that hobby. I don't know the full details of it, though. I know what Linus talked about it on WAN show as well as released a video, right? But I have not looked deeper into it aside from in Nintendo being bad guy and Rip Yuzu. About time I have a proper outfit? What do you mean a proper outfit? Yeah, what you guys? So the lighting in the lighting today is different because we're gonna have to do the overhead shot for the PC building, right? So I turned off the 2 RGB tube lights in the back. I brought this one in to have a direct overhead light, kind of closer to the parts, and then my basement flush lights in the ceiling are also on. So those are the 3 differences in lights. I usually like it a darker scene with like a bright, like kind of like accented color background. Today we don't have like the colorful RGB sticks in the background, so it's a lot more neutral colored, and I'm wearing gray, so that doesn't help. But yeah, we should have a decent lighting, so when I hold stuff up to the camera I'm using, by the way, is my phone. The Elgato webcam just does not like the USB extensions I have, so this is my phone that I'm using right here. I'm using OBS, what the heck is that called? Droid Cam. But yeah. What's up, Brian Switzer? What's up, Evil Citizen? Clinged Import Race. Let's see. We got Sean Adams. What's up, bud? Dude from the... Oh, Sean! I talked about you the week after that because It was Wednesday night that we met, right? Yeah. Nice to see you in the stream. Yeah, so I think it was last week that I mentioned that I ran into a viewer at the skating rink, and this is Deshaun. I didn't know how your name was spent. There's so many, or I didn't know how your name was spelt. There's so many ways to spell Sean, but you are the AWN kind of Sean. But yeah, man, good to see you in the stream. And my wife and I were just at the skating rink this past Sunday. Yeah, and we're gonna go sometime again this weekend, I think, but I'm not sure which day, either Saturday or Sunday. But yeah. John, the Net Guy reviews. I'm blind. Bring back dark mode. I know, right? This is a lot more lighting than I am used to typically on the streams. What's up, Nemus Tech? Tech drama. Sweet Baby Inc. Scandal is blowing up. Sweet Baby. Sweet Baby Inc. I've not... What is this? We're gonna look into this before we get into the build, which once we do start getting to the build, I need to like get right on it, just because trying to build that in like an hour and a half ish, and we gotta unbox everything. It's gonna take a while. Sweet Baby Inc. What is this? A narrative development and consultation studio. Doesn't do what some gamers think it does. No, one company isn't forcing diversity into our... Okay, can I just say, the complaints about like wokeism and liberalism or whatever, diversity in games, I think it's so stupid, just because I'm not sure if people realize that we do have people of like the LGBTQIA plus like in our everyday lives, right? So the fact that someone who represents that type of person in a video game, that shouldn't be too over the top or outlandish or like unbelievable, right? Like, unless, actually no, maybe not. I live in Seattle, very diverse place. So I am surrounded by those types of people at the roller rink even. But yeah, just living in Seattle, I see, you know, all peoples of all different colors and walks of life. So when I see that in a video game, I don't think anything of it. But I guess other people who may live in other parts of the world or country who aren't exposed to that many people, anytime they see this in a video game, they're like, you know, they're just shoehorning it into there just to meet some kind of diversity quota. But to me, I never understood that complaint. Like, oh, okay, the main character of this video game is gay. Does that like blow your guys' mind or something? Have you never seen a gay person? Do you never think like a person like that would exist in a video game, maybe even as the main character? So just seeing anything like this in the whole video game industry, I don't know. I've always been annoyed by like the complaints about these things, but I've not heard about this drama in general. Let's see. It's not okay. One of the companies discovered a Steam group dedicated to detecting games. So, yeah, you said this is kind of like Gamergate 2.0. I don't know, man. And this shouldn't be political, but it is. And it's something that's kind of difficult to talk about since everyone has... Not everyone, but there's like... I feel like a vocal minority that kind of has a very strong stance on stuff like this. But yeah. I also hate the word woke too, because it's usually used in a negative way. But the origins of the word woke and all of that, like if you look into the history of it, it actually, you know, it means that you are well aware of like the imbalances and the like the unfairness, right, in society. Like being aware of it and trying to do something about it, I don't think that should be seen as a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that even me saying that, some people might view that as political. So rumor has it that Danny woke up this morning. I definitely did wake up this morning. Yeah. The GTA 6... So, I haven't been looking into GTA 6 as much with regards to, like, all this stuff. The funny thing is, Rockstar has been known to kind of push the boundary on things. So, I mean, I'm sure as more stuff comes out or as when the game releases, we're going to get plenty of drama to read about. So, hey, what's up, Shauner, who is also an AWN. YouTube sat on the announcement screen until just now. What? YouTube, you're supposed to start when I start. What's up with that? Hey, what's up, Igor? How you doing? What's up? Chase Atterwood. My Z690 and DDR5 fried this week and had to armate both. How does it just fry? And this is assuming you didn't touch anything, like, I don't know. Like, what could you do to really fry your RAM and your motherboard fried? That sucks. I'm assuming you troubleshooted it by, you know, individually testing components and finding out that those two were the failed components. Yeah, John, remember we talked about this? Because, John, I know you have, like, your whole shelf of, these are all the things that companies have sent me that you know, you basically have no more room for and need to slowly get rid of. And I know a lot of that stuff is, like, streamer gear. So maybe I can come buy some of those things off of you, you know? Because, yeah, my lights, I really need to get more thin panels because these things are like... These are huge. They take up so much space. Like, these things, they take up so much space in the studio. And once you stretch them to a high height, they get imbalanced pretty easily. I've knocked over one of these and broken the bulb inside before. So yeah, definitely need to take a look at what you have lights-wise and see. I look like an Uber driver? Yeah, so this is just the mic, actually. I put the mic here because it's closer to my face, so I don't have to turn the gain up as much. And when I put it here, it kind of just like, it pulls down on my collar, so I just put it right there. But yeah, Uber drivers with their in-ear, you know, headpieces because they're always on the phone while driving you. The new X-Men cartoon is woke. Do they not know the history of X-Men? Yeah. My B650 board was DOA from Newegg. Had to RMA. We'll see what comes back to me. Yeah, DOA stuff kind of sucks, especially if it's like for a new build. And for like B650, you might not have another AM5 board that you could test with. So, yeah, hopefully that works out for you though. Hey, what's up, Bakata? All right, let me see. We're just chilling, hanging out for a bit before we actually get started in the building and the parts list. So... You're running a CPU benchmark in a black screen and power cycled. Replace the motherboard, same issue. Replace the one RAM stick at a time and bam, perfect working condition. But then you put the new or the working RAM stick back into the motherboard to double check and that didn't work. Because it sounds like going through this steps, you replace the motherboard and had the same issue and then you figure out it was the RAM that was the issue, but did you go back to the motherboard and make sure that didn't work? Gavin says, love your videos, man. Keep being great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Preston Morton says, I completed a home server rig. I repurposed a Ryzen R7 27X and about 60 terabytes of storage for files and perhaps some movies I ripped from my movie collection. What software should I use to run? Honestly, when it comes to home server stuff, I am not the person to ask. I don't have like a Plex server setup or anything like that. But I'm pretty sure plenty of people in the comments can suggest you to what software to run for all that stuff. Igor does not trust Newegg anymore. Ordered an open box power supply. They sent a power supply in a Newegg box inside a bigger box and no cables, just the PSU brick. Was this like a fully modular PSU and they just had no cables with it? Dang. You got your money back though, right? Something like that, I feel like it's a pretty easy, like, you know, a case of they will refund your money, because that's definitely not right. Do I think a 4070 will bottleneck a 5700X today? No, I think that's fine. I think your pairing is fine there. You're not playing at 1080p, are you? If you are, then maybe I could see that happening. Like, but if you're at 1440 or 4K, probably with the 4070, you're probably playing at 1440p with like really high to max settings. So I think that's fine. No issue there. Is the upgrade from a 2700 to a 3800X worth it? Why not just go to like a 5600X or something like that? Do you need the additional cores? I guess I don't know what the prices you are finding the 3800X for, but I mean, why not just go to the latest gen processors of that socket, of the AM4? It seems like, I don't know if I would personally do a 2700 to a 3800X unless I found the 3800X for like a really good deal. Oh, I'm not shaking. I'm tapping my legs. I have a restless leg syndrome. So I'm just tapping both my legs right now. So that's why I'm shaking. Okay. So let's talk about this build. And this build is pretty exciting for me, not just because of, you know, it's gonna be like the most powerful CPU that I have to use here in the studio, and not because it's like it's gonna be a pretty expensive machine. Corsair definitely hooked it up with a lot of the parts, and their parts go, you know, for a decent premium. But it's more of the case. And I'm really excited about this recently released Corsair case. And you guys have probably seen people either drop reviews and stuff on it. I was supposed to get this before the embargo lifted for this case. But there was a mistake made in shipment. And I was actually not sent the case. So then they had to reship it out to me. So that's why I only recently got this on hand. But this is... We'll look at the case first. I'm not going to open it yet, but we'll pull up the page. So this is the Corsair 2500 series. This is the 2500. I believe they sent me the X version. And this is I believe this is their most recently released case. I don't think they have released anything since this. So let's look at their page. And I'll explain to you why I'm very excited about this. But can you... Just taking a look at this, can you guess why I am excited about this case? They sent me the one in white as well, so it's been a while. I feel since I've done a white build, so they gave me a choice between black and white. I said, you know what? I haven't done a white build in a while. Let's do it in white. Which then I realized was kind of a mistake, because that meant I had to color match everything else in the build. Which, I mean, a lot of the stuff that they sent, it came in white, but when it came to filling out the rest of it, I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, this is actually a little bit hard to get, like, you know, motherboard, graphics card and stuff like that. But yeah, this is a micro ATX case. Now, I don't know how many how many of y'all have been watching since like 2016, 2017? If you know the history of Corsair cases, this case is like paying homage to the Corsair Carbide Air 240. Has anyone ever had this case or used this case? Not the 540. I don't like these taller versions of these cases. But where's the 240 at? Yeah, here we go. This is like, I mean, this was a micro ATX case that Corsair had. I forgot when this case released. It was like in the mid 2010s, right? Like 2014, 15, 16-ish is when this was like more of a relevant case. Look at that acrylic side panel. But I actually had one of these cases as my personal build. So I got the case because of like one of my Craigslist ride-alongs, 2016 right here. I bought a pre-built, or not a pre-built, but a fully built computer from this person back in like 2016. $300, full working system. Went to this dude's garage, you know, tested the build, and then picked it up. I liked the case so much that I decided to swap the parts out and put my own parts into this case, right? Like you can see it even in LAN parties,
which is nice because
LAN party stories from back in 2016 here. Like here's the case that I brought to the LAN and everything. So yeah, this case, when Corsair announced it and they hit me up about it, I got really excited because they did have an intermediary case between the two. I'm not sure if you guys remember this one, which was only what, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago when this released. But the 280X was also kind of like based off of the Carbide series 240. This one never really took off though, because, or I feel like it never got as popular. One of the biggest issues with this design though was that this is a dual chamber case. You can see the partition right here. This is one chamber and here's the other. The way that this case used to be designed was that you had a really large like rear chamber for your power supply and cables and all that stuff. And the way that they set it up, this case didn't really have that good of airflow. You have tempered glass blocking these fans up here, and then you have tempered glass, I guess if you wanted to have anything up top here. So in their newest design though, going back to this, the 2500X, you can see that they're following the trend of all the fish tank cases. You know what I'm talking about? Where it is still dual chamber, but they have it so that you could have a side exhaust, and then they kind of ramp it right here. Let me see if I can zoom it in. Yeah, they kind of have like a ramp here to the motherboard tray for that secondary chamber in the back. So you do get the full frontal like width up here so that you could have actual airflow. So you have airflow, either intake or exhaust here, and then you can set up your intake or exhaust here. Kale130 says, oh wait, what's going on here? Did I just get some... Oh, the song just changed. I thought we got some notification Spitfires, but no. Yeah, so, yeah, this case, it's kind of going back to, you know, my roots of the channel in the earlier years of using something like this. Though I'm not going to be using this for my main PC. I'm, for the most part, going to be using it to... I'll take it to LAN just to make it convenient so I don't have to tear down my setup every single LAN. As well as putting the 7800X3D in there. It's going to be a very powerful CPU for if I ever need to, like, test any GPUs or things like that. You know, there's no bottleneck. So, yeah. Full frontal confirmed. Nura Budget likes full frontal confirmed, yeah. Did they send you the wooden panel accessories? So, they did ask me if I wanted to check out those wood panel accessories. I told them yes. But I'm not sure if I actually received it because of the whole mishap. So, when they resent out the case, unless the wooden panels were placed into here, I don't think I received it. So, yeah, I think I asked them for like the light walnut or one of the lighter colors. Let me see. Let me make sure I don't have any other packages here. That might be it. Nope. Looks like I don't have anything else here except for that. Here, let me get ready for this real quick though. Okay. So let me unbox the case. Actually on the top cam. No, we'll unbox everything after we take a look at it. So let's go over the rest of the parts. Alright, so I have everything here. So like I said, we are putting, and I talked about this on last week's stream. We do have a 7800 X3D. I just picked this up on Amazon. I think it was like around $350 or so. The 7900 X3D goes for, I think it's on sale right now for like $400. The $50 price difference, I've seen in the benchmarks, this sometimes beats the 7900 X3D just because of the way the cores are laid out and the V-cache. I don't know. For me, this is plenty of power. I don't necessarily feel like I need the Ryzen 9 7900 X3D, so I was good for this and saving $50. But let's see. So we have that. Also, one thing about this case is that it does support the MSI Project Zero, and then what's the Asus one? You know how they're talking about these new motherboards that has some of the connectors on the backside? It's MSI Project Zero and then Asus BTF, I think. What does that stand for again? But because this case does support it, it has the right cutouts so that you can plug a lot of things in the backside. I wanted to make use of that, so that's why I got the Project Zero board. But the BTF hidden, what the heck does this stand for? GPU does not go in the back though, unfortunately. But let's see. Back to the Future, is that what it stands for? That's what the BTF stands for? Yep, Back to the Future series. Yeah, so I think, to my knowledge, only MSI and Asus have done something like this. But it's still like very limited. Yeah, they do have graphics cards that do it too, but I did not grab a graphics card that has that. What's better, Wi-Fi or straight Ethernet? I mean, I think straight Ethernet. Wi-Fi has its utilities. You know, you don't have to deal with wires, running cables and stuff like that. But if you're talking about just pure like speed, it's gonna be direct Ethernet. But yeah, so when it came to the motherboards, to make use of the new cutouts that they put in the 2500 case, I had like, for motherboard choices, for affordable motherboard choices, B650s, I had like either this or I think Asus had one too, but this one was like a little bit over $200. So I wanted to grab this one. Plus this one it's got more of a lighter aesthetic to it. It's got not necessarily white, but more of silverish, like heat sinks and stuff and covers on it. So that's why I wanted to go with that. So we got the motherboard, we got the CPU. For RAM, we've got Corsair Vengeance. So I have two sets of memory here, and that is because technically this gray kit right here, Corsair, I don't know why they don't have the color combinations for both, but for DDR5 specifically, memory can be a little bit finicky when it comes to AMD Expo and Intel XMP. So they have both. I'm actually going to try to see if I can get it, because this is going to be a white themed build. I'm going to see if I could get the B650 and the 7800 XUD to work with the Intel XMP and try to get that 6000 CL30 profile on there. If it doesn't work, then I guess I could switch the heat sinks on these. But yeah, I'm going to see if I could mess around and get this to work. There's not a ton of information online with regards to people being able to mix and match AMD and Intel memory, especially with DDR5. You know, that was never really a problem with DDR4, but with AMD Expo and stuff like that, they did specifically make different kits of memory for it. So yeah, but for the most part, the build's only gonna have 32 gigs. It's gonna use one of these two kits. We've got a 2 terabyte MP600 Elite, so this is perfect for a benchmarking drive. 2 terabytes pretty much fits any, like, you know, my benchmarking suite is usually about anywhere from 12 to 15 games, so this can fit all of that on there. So that's for the SSD. MSI says that board officially supports XMP profiles. Yeah, so the reason I got it in the first place was because I had a decent amount of faith that I could get it to work. So, yeah. We do have extra fans here just to, you know, fill out whatever openings or, yeah, in the case. I don't know what fan configuration this case comes in, but yeah, just extra fans just in case. Oh, I should mention that the fans and the cooler, which is the IQ Link H150i with the LCD on it. This is going to be my first time playing with IQ Link from Corsair. Do any of y'all out there have IQ Link hardware? So IQ Link is basically their new line of product, newish line of products. It's not like it's brand new, but basically you only need like one cable connecting between everything, reducing a ton of like clutter when it comes to RGB and power, right? Like with fans, you usually have the power cable and the RGB cable or connectors, and now everything is just like, yeah, this is what it would look like. The fans basically chain on each other, and then you get one cable to link it to, you know, the next fan or whatever. Basically, this reduces, we looked at this a while back. Yeah, all this animation kind of shows it best, I think. If it's Back to the Future, it's a clever play on words. Yeah, that is a very clever play on words, and because everybody knows of the movies Back to the Future. But also back, as in the back of the motherboard, being the future of everything if this becomes a standard, yeah. But I think, I mean, the IQ Link stuff seems pretty self-explanatory, like, it shouldn't be too hard. If anything, this should make it so that building is a lot quicker and cable management will be a lot cleaner. So hopefully I don't noob this up, because this definitely looks way more simple to set up. So yeah, that's the AIO, and the power supply is the RM750E, which for I guess if I ever tested like a 4090 or something, I think it would actually still be fine. The CPU, what is the 7800X3D? I might actually have to upgrade the power supply down the line if I ever throw a powerful graphics card in it, but I typically don't test super powerful graphics cards on the channel. Yeah, so we're looking at, I mean, 120 watt TDP. Yeah, that leaves like 500 plus for the graphics card. We don't really run super powerful graphics cards there, so. Have I messed with the NZXT AIO? Which one? If it's one of the newer ones, then I have not. But I have used multiple of their LCD AIOs. But, okay. For the graphics card, I put question marks in the description because I don't know what graphics card for today's build I'm going to put in there. Being a test bench, it's just going to be whatever graphics card is being thrown in, being tested. But aesthetically, I have 3 graphics cards sitting over there, and I'm not going to reveal what we're putting into it until we get the build put together, and then we can see what fits in it best. So let's get to unboxing and building. And I'm going to try my best while doing this to keep an eye on chat. But as you know, it is kind of difficult to multitask and keep my eyes on the computer parts as well as on the screen at the same time. So yeah, I will try my best. Okay, so we'll open stuff as we need it. So the first thing that we need to do is open up the motherboard and the processor. Oh my goodness, this is a hefty motherboard. So this is a micro ATX build. The case, the 2500 is micro ATX or ITX, which do not put an ITX into this kind of a case, please. Like if you're using an ITX motherboard, please choose an ITX case. Do not put it into a micro ATX. It's kind of a waste of money in my opinion. And you get like less expansion slots, less USB, stuff like that. It's just not worth it. If you're going for the ITX motherboard, go with the ITX form factor for the case. But let's take a look at this motherboard, since this is actually my first time being hands-on with one of these types of behind connector motherboards. So this thing is actually pretty hefty, and all this is not plastic. It is actually metal. But yeah, so as you can see, there's no connectors on the bottom here. It's all covered up because it's all in the back. So all of these are in the back, which is for me, this is very new. I've only seen people cover this at Computex and CES and stuff like that. But this is my first time actually having one of these in hand. So, nice. Hey, what's up, Kevin? No worries. No worries being late. Glad to have you here. Alright, so let's put this anti-static away. And let's get this on top. Actually, let me look at the back again. This is interesting. Look, like, everything is back here. I don't even need cable extensions, right? Like, I don't need sleeved cables because here's 24 pin. Here's for CPU. What? It's still kind of blowing my mind that literally no cables are connected to the front. I do have a set of cable extensions I was going to use, but it looks like you don't even need it at all now. Except for the GPU, you are correct. And with regards, yeah, so I do have white cable extensions for the graphics card, but it might be the only thing that I need to use, yeah, because I don't need to use anything else. So, we'll see. Alright, so let me flip this back over, and get the CPU on here. So it's going to be CPU, RAM, and SSD. Those are going to be the first things to go on here. So let me open this up. Where is the tape at? This is it, right? I want to make sure I'm cutting the right area. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Unless the GPU is a low power one, which is unlikely. Yeah, true. Computer Guy has a really interesting question. How come Brunzel calls me Gunther during the LAN parties? So that's kind of an inside joke that we had. So Brunzel's first name is also Danny. So a long time ago, we said, how are we supposed to distinguish the two Dannys? And then I forgot who it was. I think it was Jan. He said, I know, we'll call Danny Gunther, and Danny. It's weird because I should just be Danny, he should be Brunzel, but they called me Gunther for a bit of time and it kind of stuck. And I'm trying to think of why. So Gunther, if you guys have seen that movie Paper Brigade, which most people probably wouldn't have seen it because it's a very niche Disney movie from like the early 90s. But there's a movie called The Paper Brigade and there's a kid in it named Gunther and they kind of make fun of him for having that name. So I think in one of the MMOs I played, I named myself Gunther. So that's why Jan from time to time randomly calls me Gunther. But yeah, that's the backstory of it. Because we needed a different name to distinguish me and other Danny from. So I just took on Gunther from time to time. Alright, we're gonna drop this in. So we're gonna have to take this off. I should do the AIO also, but we're gonna do the M.2s next, just because it's easy to just get out of the way. Johnny Stash says this isn't full frontal. This is POV. Now POV would be if I had a head cam or like Google Glasses cam or something, or like a chest mounted GoPro, which I probably could set up, but the quality would not be as good. Okay, so let's see, opening up the SSD now. DK's Entertainment, off topic. What's some great single player story mode games? Honestly, as much as people cringe on Ubisoft and stuff like that, I really like the Assassin's Creed games like Odyssey and Valhalla. I like it a lot. I know the gameplay loop kind of gets boring because you're doing the same things over and over and you're farming gear and leveling up, getting, points for your talents or whatever, but I just really enjoy the open world kind of like free roam, and I enjoy the combat system in those games, like the hack and slash combat system. But I don't know, like the Final Fantasy remake, did that release on PC yet? It did, right? The first one anyways, and then the next one is going to be on console first for some time and then it's going to release on PC. But I haven't played the Final Fantasy VII remake yet, but I definitely need to at some point because Final Fantasy VII was definitely one of my childhood games that I sunk many hours into. It's just whenever you're on a World of Warcraft kick, it can so easily consume all your time. Which I am currently still playing hardcore WoW. Uh-oh. Did I put this on? I might have put this on the wrong one. Whoops, these are not the exact same screws. What is the best brand for budget-friendly 2 terabyte SSD? I mean, you're looking at Team Group. I think was it the Kingston MV1? I think Team Group, with regards to like features and specs and price, they're one of like my go-to budget like SSD brands. But all the companies actually have like a budget like tier of SSD. Like even what Silicon Power, I don't know the model numbers off the top of my head, but yeah, Silicon Power and I think Team Group would probably be the two that comes to mind like first. Kingston's got the NB1. What else is there? Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're just chilling, building this. This is actually one of the more expensive computers I've built in a long time. I mean, the total for this, once we put the graphics card in, regardless of what it's going to be, this is probably, especially since we're using freaking, you know, premium Corsair parts here. This is probably closer to a $2,000-ish build, which I know in the grand scheme of things, it's not like expensive compared to what other people build, right? Like plenty of people, 2,000 is like not a lot of money, but for me, we don't break the $2,000 mark on PC builds too often on the channel. So this is gonna be one of the more premium ones that we've done in a while. It might be the most expensive one we do this year. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, we're just gonna break into the Intel set of memory, and I'm pretty confident this is gonna work. But yeah, we're going with that. With the 32 gigs, 6000 CL30 set of memory. Oh yeah, the Crucial and their P series are also those go on sale quite a bit, and those can be had for a pretty decent price usually, pretty competitive. Alright, so we've got memory, SSD, and CPU in. We are going to have to take this bracket off, I believe. Some coolers, some companies actually make use of these, I guess, not latches, but these little hooks that come stock on AMD boards. I'm pretty sure Corsair doesn't. I'm pretty sure they have 4 turn thumb screws. But before I take these off, just in case, for whatever reason, they might have changed it. I don't think so. I've used Corsair coolers plenty of times over the years, and I'm pretty sure they aren't one to use the latching mechanism. I think, what company was that? Antec. Their AIO used those latches, or those hooks, but let's open this IQ Link H150i and see what's up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I gotta take them off too. Man, I'm just gonna generate so much trash and plastic wrap waste. Don't forget, it says stop. Don't forget to review or view the manual. I think for the AIO, I'm pretty good without viewing it, but we'll see. When it comes to building PCs, what do you guys typically read the manual for, if you do at all? I think sometimes I look into the motherboard manual, and it's either that or what else? The case. Sometimes the case. If it's missing, or it seems like it's missing something, I'll flip through the case manual to see if I am missing something, or if it's just not included. But let's see. Oh boy. Yeah, so we just care about the brackets here, but we've got all these bags. We've got that signature Corsair kind of like tessellated triangle thermal paste pre-applied, which I'm good with pre-applied thermal paste. I have nothing against pre-applied thermal paste from pretty much any company. If it's there, I will use it. Okay, so this is the IQ Link box right here. So we'll put this to the side. Interesting that that came in a paper bag though. Everything else is like in a plastic bag. Yeah, the AIO is like, I'm gonna be honest, and I think I've said this multiple times before on streams and stuff. The AIO is my least favorite part of like a PC build. And you gotta keep track of everything and not lose it, because what if one day you want to use this AIO with an Intel system instead of an AMD one? So you gotta keep everything, gotta keep all the screws, gotta keep all the brackets, because otherwise you're hitting up Corsair support and paying them for shipping to send you a replacement. So what is this? Another paper bag. Interesting. Ray Sage says, just curious, does this cooler have a display on it? This does have a display on it. This is an LCD cooler. What is this? Alright, here's all the Corsair IQ Link cables and stuff. Okay, I need to make sure I don't misplace any of this. But yeah, we've got... And just based off the video, we've got some of these... So this is kind of like a filler bracket that's like a dummy to connect, because each of the fans, when they link together, you have one that's the connector on one side, and then the other, you just have these like, these are almost like dowels, non-circular dowels. And then you got a bunch of these link cables to link everything together. So we've got that, and there's still more stuff. We've got the USB splitter cable for controlling the LCD and maybe pump speed. I forget. And then let's take this thing out. Then we've got the actual radiator and fans itself. So, Let me show all this. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get this box out of the way. I'll leave this on here for now. I might have to move it once I move the case on. Okay, so brackets and standoffs. Miscellaneous hardware, okay. Okay, yeah, so there's different standoffs for the different sockets. But AM4, AM5 bag, I need to keep this. Can't lose the Intel bag. CPU coolers are second to cases for storing their box and related items. But, okay, storing their box, yeah. Box, because the case is so big. But with regards to accessories and stuff, I feel like cases aren't too bad. They usually come in like a small cardboard box, or some companies are cool enough to give you like an actual plastic box. Like, what is it, Fantex? I don't know if this is a Fantex one. This might be a different company. But yeah, some companies, they straight up give you like a really nice sorting box for like all the zip ties and extra screws. So for me, that was never an annoyance. Sometimes storing the extra hard drive cages or stuff like that, yeah, that can get annoying. But okay, let's see. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, with AIOs, a lot of times you do get all this extra packaging, which is kind of wasteful. Because yeah, they're not Ziploc or anything like that. They're just, you tear through them. Okay, so these are the bracket arms that go around the pump block, it looks like. And then we've got our 4 standoff screws. So let's get that onto the motherboard. $50 donation. Where's the Spitfire alert? Is it late? Let me see. Come on, Spitfire alert. We're waiting for you unless you're not on this one. You're here. I think he's just going to take a second. Mike1360. Hey, Danny. I hope all is well. I know we all talked about this last week, but do you have any new games that you would like to play during the upcoming LAN event? If so, which games? Cheers. Mike, thank you for the $50 super chat dono. Games I'm looking forward to playing. I think we're going to try to have a Power World session because that's so new and we all haven't had a chance to play together. So we'll probably have a Power World session. In terms of multiplayer games, Party Animals we've been talking about for multiple LANs because it's taken so long to come out. And then what else? I know there was at least one other game we've talked about. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. We have a running Discord channel, me and all the LAN crew. And every time a new game comes out that we're like, oh, that looks good, we drop it in there so that we don't forget about it. But we're still gonna do all the, most of the old favorites. Like Grand Theft Auto and Halo, Lethal Company with more company mod. I would be down with that. How much does that cost right now? See, anything that's not free, again, I gotta convince the pals. Give me 1 second. I wanna save all this in the motherboard box just in case I need it. So yeah, I gotta keep on hand everything. So yeah, now these just get twisted and turned in. I think it's this one. Yep. Lethal Company is how much? $10? Yeah, that's more. But is Lethal would Lethal Company be as fun playing in the same room? That's my next question. Play Supermarket Simulator and see who can get the best supermarket out of y'all. Is that a single player game? And then we would just have to compare the scores. Okay, where is the Spitfire? Let me refresh this. There we go. Need to make sure that came up. Can I teach y'all how to Overwatch? The thing is, you can't really teach how to Overwatch. It's more like a practice thing. And okay, so the thing about getting clowned last time, the people that we played against, like, they play Overwatch. There's a difference between having Overwatch and occasionally playing it versus it being the main game that you played for a while. One of the people on the other team, I think he played on like a college esports team for Overwatch. It was either Overwatch or Apex, but that was like the skill gap, right, between the two groups. Like me and my group of friends, we're definitely more on the casual side of gaming. The Texas LAN crew, like they game almost every single day with each other on like their Discord. So I don't think it's like, even if we did practice, there's just no way. Like the amount of hours they put into games like Overwatch or League of Legends and stuff, there's no way we're catching up. And there's no way I would want to catch up either, because those are not my favorite games to play. Okay, so of course this bracket is defaulted to Intel because it's got the square bracket on it. So I need to actually remove this and put on, actually, I'm going to put this back on. I might save this for when we get the motherboard into the case, because I do not want to have to deal with holding all this together. But basically, these things come off. It looks like they just slide off, no screws or anything, and then these ones slide on. So that's actually nice. I don't remember if their other H150. I don't think it had this design. Y'all seen this? Here, let me show you. So if we lift this up, this is I don't recall this being there in their previous design. So normally, I think with these brackets, you have to unscrew something to get them off. But it looks like these just, you see how they just slide off? I'm trying to remember if their older I-150 or H150 series did that. It just slides on and off with zero, like having to undo screws and stuff like that. So you take that off, and then you put on the more rectangular AMD ones. I just touched the thermal paste. But yeah, you just slide it in. Zero screws. That's actually very convenient. Most of the AIOs that I've used before do not employ a system like this. This is actually pretty nice. Have they always been like this? Okay, so I think I'm trying to think of every system I've built recently with the H150. Has it been with Intel? So I've never had to put the AMD one on. But if they've always been like this, then this makes me hate doing AIO installs a little bit less. I'm still, because they made this one square, I'm going to keep this on here until it's time to install the AIO. I'm going to hold off on this just so I don't have to carry it around like a weird octopus. Okay. Now let's unbox the case, because I think we're ready to get into the case now. So let me move this to the side for a second. Make a challenge if the dead guy talks IRL in the room with the live guest, drink or $1 in a jar or something. Well, the thing about Lethal Company is when you're like on the planet versus in the ship and stuff like that, you're not supposed to be able to hear each other, right? So wouldn't that be messing up the gameplay? Because anytime we talk and we're in the vicinity of each other real life, we would be able to hear each other. Especially for someone like me, I don't play with headphones. I play with headphones, but not fully. Oh, funny story about this case. I wish I caught it on camera, but I don't have any camera set up down in the studio with it. But this case took a tumble down a full flight of stairs. You see this right here? Let's see if I can show it. You see this big hole right here? I was holding it with one hand as I was opening the door to the basement, and this thing just ripped off, and this thing went tumbling down the full flight of stairs into my basement. It like knocked over a bunch of boxes that I had at the bottom of the stairs. It hit my computer table and like shook it. But I did not hear any glass break. So hopefully nothing is damaged in here. So Corsair does use some pretty nice soft cushion foam. This is like the compressible stuff. It's not like the cheap, the cheap stuff. This is like the premium. So I think it should be fine, but we'll see. But yeah, would have been a bad day if the tempered glass panels just like completely broke because of that. Let me see if I can get this out. Yo, this is a pretty beefy micro ATX case. Not gonna lie. But let me get it out of this foam to see how big it really is. Oh, wait up. They did send me the 2500 micro, right? On the case, I think it said that. This is what happens when you don't unbox things before stream. Is this looking like a ATX size case to you? Let Let me look at the standoffs. Let me see. This is looking like a pretty big case. Oh, no. I think, no, we're good. This is micro ATX, yeah. I was initially looking at the standoffs, and it did look like there might have been an extra set, but yeah. It looks like an ATX, to be honest. It's pretty... I think it's because they gave room for that side. You see the side ventilation over here? Like this right here? It extended the case forward. Yeah, this is on the larger side for a micro ATX. Let me see. And they gave extra room because of the Project Zero. So let me pop this off real quick. How are we doing on time? We're over an hour in the stream. Okay. If I'm trying to actually finish this and have dinner at a reasonable time, I need to speed it up a little bit. Okay, so all the accessories are back here. So you do have, I mean, I actually, in my own personal system, I don't use 3.5-inch spinning drives anymore. Hey! Speaking of these nice little boxes that they give with all the zip ties and screws in, I love these things. Anytime, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could buy these on AliExpress for like $1, but I love getting free ones from case manufacturers. Thank you, Corsair. Another one of these for me to just put a whole bunch of screws and stuff into. I love it. Alright, so put this aside. Put this back in. This build should actually go pretty quickly once we get the motherboard in. And all that. So let me push this to the side. I'm just going to open up all the panels and hopefully not lose any of them around the studio. The back is fully mesh. Or ventilated, rather. So yeah. In terms of the back, you know, you get airflow for your hard drives, for your power supply, whichever, not an issue. It is fully perforated. All right. We're going to do 2 fans here. In terms of cooling setup, I guess I still have a little bit of time to think about that, but to me, it makes the most sense. Exhaust up top, intake from the side, and an exhaust in the rear, and potentially intake on the bottom, but we'll see. It looks like there's plenty of room up top, so I can put the motherboard in before putting the AIO in. So just let me do this real quick. Yeah, that's why the case looks so big. So this is correct. This is a micro ATX case, but if you look at it, look at how much room you have at the top and at the bottom, which is why it looked a little bit taller and could fit. I mean, you could fit a standard ATX case in here, but then you won't have room for your AIO up top or cables on the bottom. So, okay. Let me think for a second. Am I good to screw this down? Am I not thinking about anything? Yeah, none of the connectors are going to have to come through here, so we're good there. Yeah, I'm going to screw this down. Do you put the panels on when benchmarking? It depends. If it's for, like, if I do a build video and I'm benchmarking that one specific build, I'll keep it on. Just because it's supposed to be representative of what I just built, right? But if I'm doing, like, graphics card side-by-side comparison or something like that, I'll typically keep it off for all of them. But, yeah. I just try to keep it consistent where consistency is needed. I need to switch the heads out. This one is too sharp. This one? It is that one. Oh, the real question is, do you put the panels on first boot or keep it off till you know it's good? Let me think about that one. Yeah, I think I keep the panel usually off until it's good to go, like, and I know there's no problems. Though if I'm doing a build video and I'm recording the whole build sequence, because at the end of the build sequence I do put all the panels on, then that would be the exception to the rule, where I put the panel on so I could record me putting the panel on, but then I'll take it right off again. Let's see. Building my first PC soon. How to put Windows in it. Look up how to install Windows 10 for free on YouTube. You might catch my video as one of the top searches. Actually, probably not. It's been years since I've made a video on that, and I'm sure other content creators have made videos that might come up first in terms of, like, more recent relevance. Okay. I kind of want to put the AIO in just to get it over with. So we're going to do that right now. Okay. Tubes front versus tubes back. Let me see. We do have all this space in the front. There's so much space in the front right here that tubes front kind of makes more sense to me, because if you go tubes back, when we put an exhaust fan in there, it might, sometimes the tubes rubs against it. Yeah. I don't know, what are your guys', yeah, and tubes back, it looks kind of scrunched up right here. I'm thinking tubes front, just because of the way this case is laid out. Look how much room we have. We kind of need to fill this space here, right? We're going to have two fans right here. We're going to have a graphics card right here. But there's a lot of empty space up here where I think tubes front would fill it up decently. And let's see if we can get a nice cable run. Or not cable, but tube run. Like, Actually, I'm not really liking the way that the tubes are cutting in front of here. Can I get it to turn like this? Both of them are actually kind of awkward. Front. So here's front. I'm trying to rotate this unless I put it with barbs down. Yeah, what is... This is kind of an awkward situation in terms of what... Here, let me try to move my hand so you can see. So this is tubes front, which is what I was thinking initially. But I'm trying to think of the orientation for this. Everything is looking a little weird. Also, I'm not sure if I'm that big of a fan. I wish they would have just used like white rubber hosing instead of this mesh. So I'm not sure if you can see it that well, but you see, these are actually these are mesh covers. So when they flex and stuff like that, you can see kind of like a texture in it. You probably can't see it that well on the camera, but you can kind of see bulging and stuff in the mesh. I might just have to like straighten it out and pull it out, but yeah. Where would, if I go front, how am I gonna do this? It's gonna be like this. Yeah, what the heck? I'm gonna have to take a look at the back again, because back might, for the bends. This was not an issue I anticipated in running into. Yeah, but then it looks so empty in the front here when the tubes are running the back. This is like first world problems right here. Like, oh no, the aesthetics is difficult to figure out because I'm using an AIO. It's one of those things where you kind of just have to choose and then live with it. But I am actually being very indecisive right now. Yeah, people with the green names are channel members. So if we go front, dude, if we go down, barb down like this, that actually doesn't look too bad. We're gonna have the graphics card there, so maybe we could even go like this. It's just it's more that I'm lazy and don't want to have to redo this once I finish the build. And actually, let's put the graphics card in. How about we put the graphics card in just to see what the space looks like, and then we put the AIO in. Because everything is in the back anyways, there's not much to be connected, and this is IQ Link. It's going to be easy to install. So, alright, graphics cards wise. In terms of what I had on hand, I only had like 3 different choices, right? So we could either go white graphics cards, which I have 2 different white ones, and remember, this is just going to be a filler graphics card. For my LAN uses, it's fine, and for a test system, I'm going to be replacing the graphics card with whatever's being tested anyways. So we have a Galax white. This is a RTX 3060. So white to keep on the white theme. We also have this Power Color Hellhound 6650 XT, which, what the heck happened to this? How did this thing get bent? But yeah. So another white graphics card to fit the aesthetics. And then we have, if I can open this thing. How does this thing open again? We have, put these stickers back. A black 4070 Super. So specs wise, I think the 4070 Super makes the most sense to put with the rest of the system. It's the most powerful graphics card of the 3. The thing is, I wasn't really sure how much of the black from the system was going to show through. Like, putting a black graphics card in here, now that I'm looking at it, I don't think that's going to look right. There's not enough other black going on in here, and honestly, I don't know what other black components I could have used. Maybe black RAM, maybe a black AIO instead of a white one, to make it so that this could be like a more of a Stormtrooper black and white build. So I'm thinking the 3060 for right now would be the best looking white card to put in here. I don't know. This is the 4070 Super. Founders Edition. Yeah, it's either that one. And man, the way that this case is designed, these graphics cards are like dwarfed because there's so much space in the front. In terms of, so here's one of the hard things about these types of like white builds. There are so many different shades of white. In terms of the matching of the white, I think the Power Color card looks the best. But the Galax card fits it the best in terms of the open space. And then specs-wise, the 4070 Super matches the CPU the best. So there's like multiple angles you could go with, I guess. Yeah. Let me see if this 4070 could actually fit in here aesthetically. We could always replace it. We're just gonna put it in for now and see how it looks. If it looks too weird at the end, we could put a white card in. So just let me undo this real quick. We're just trying to fill up the space while we get the AIO in. Jeez. Come on. The tolerances for this bracket clearing, because this MSI motherboard has so much of this metal covering on it, I'm not able to clear the retention bracket on. Oh, there we go. Never mind, I got it. I just had to complain about it for it to work. Yeah, so ooh, I don't know about that. That is a very glaringly, like, it sticks out like a sore thumb, man. That black on all the other white. But we're just gonna put it in to fill the space. Okay. So now when we put this in, if we were to go right here, how would we do the tubes, man? These two, the mesh tubes, I have to say, I am not a fan of. Yeah, the mesh tubes, they look out of place. Even if I wanted to go down. So if we do tubes, if we do barbs down, you have like a straight run. This is like the cleanest curve I could get, I think. With barbs down. Let me take a look at something. I need some references. Use the EVJ 600 white I used recently. I did not foresee that gap in the front looking so noticeable. 2500 series. Let me see. Is it because they always show it at an angle? Well, this one they have a fat graphics card. They are running tubes in the back here. Show me a direct side angle. Ah, here we go. You see that? Wow. Oh my god. Look at the thickness of that card. But yeah, I mean, so they're going tubes back here, but the front just has a lot of empty space. The front, if you had like a custom loop and you could put a reservoir there or something, or even a radiator in the front instead of the top, but then that might also look a little weird too, having a 240 radiator in the front. Let me see if I can find any like people's actual build. Yeah, I do gotta eat dinner, so I need to just finish this up, and I might have to figure it out off of stream. Let's see. I don't think many people have built in this case. Oh, Zach built in it. I think he streamed it. This is a stream, right? Not a video. Yeah, 3 hours. So Zach built in it a few weeks ago. It looks like. But there's not a ton of reference pictures to go off of. And most of the pictures are at an angle. Is this a sponsored build? Sponsored in that Corsair provided a bunch of the parts. But I would say not sponsored in that they did not pay me, nor do I have to say good things about their parts, right? It's weird. The whole sponsorship thing, which, I mean, the whole tech community has gone through many conversations about this, about what is and what is not a sponsored, like, type of content. For me, sponsored is exchanging money in order to shine a good light on whatever the company has, right? But receiving products to either test or review for free where you're not obligated to say good things, I think some people might consider that sponsored because you're receiving something of value. But that's just the nature of being like a reviewer or a tech content creator. You receive things where you don't pay for it. So it's kind of gray area there. Corsair, I would say this is not a sponsored build in that they didn't pay me and I'm not obligated to say good things about all their stuff. This is more like a review, like an overview / review type of thing where they sent the parts and as I'm building in it, I'm giving you guys my real-time thoughts. And I've complained about kind of that big space in the front as well as the mesh on the AIO. Like, they should not have gone with the mesh, that's for sure. Yes, I'm not doing a good job at building the PC in a fast manner. How did Zach build this thing? I'm curious what... I didn't see the stream, so I'm not sure what his thoughts were on this. But let me see. What did his end product look like? Yeah, so... Let me see. So he did tubes front, which is what we talked about. We do have... It's kind of hard to see here because it's black on black. He is showing it at an angle, so it makes the front not look as bad when it's shown at like a 30-degree angle like this. But also, the problem that I thought with the tubing, his tubing doesn't look perfect either. So, okay, we're just going to go with the front. And you know what? We're just going to go with it because it looks like there is no perfect way to do this. So, we're going to go front. And we're actually going to go bottom barb, I think. The bottom barb. Yeah, let's see if this works with the brackets. So we're going to remove these. I should be able to slide this up here. And I can. Wait. No, is it only a side? Oh, it is only a side entry. So I can't even do up and down barbs if I wanted to. Let me see. Let me see. Yep. I am restricted to only doing... Wait, no. This goes on. Is this slotted? No, it's not going in. Yeah. So we do have to have side barbs. Some AIOs allow you to orient the pump any way you want, but not this one. Okay, so we do have to do side barb. So if we do that, it's gotta be... It's definitely not gonna be this way, right? Yeah, no way. That's way too short. So we're going this way, and let me get it seated on here. Wait, before I do that, I need to get the... Where's the thumb screws for this thing? Thumb screws. I think it's in this bag. Does anyone else see Cryptid Exo's comment highlighted in yellow? How is that highlighted in yellow? Anyone know? Cryptid Exo on my screen, their chat is highlighted in yellow. Interesting. But love the videos. Have a question. I might be getting a PC soon. Any recommendations? Your budget is around $900. Are you trying to build it yourself, or are you trying to buy a pre-built? If you're trying to build it yourself, you're looking at a i5 or Ryzen 5 with a like RTX 3070 or 6750 XT or 7600 XT, whichever one. They're both like the same price about. Okay, I got the thumb screws. It's not yellow for you? Okay, that's weird. Why did this chat make it yellow for me? Interesting. I think the add-on that I use to highlight your guys' things, it randomly highlights people's comments. Because on my screen, it's yellow. But, okay. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at like a Ryzen 5 5600X, 5600, i5, like 12600, or 12400 even. And then, you know, standard everything else. 1 to 2 terabyte SSD, 32 gigs of RAM, a case, like a decent 600 to 700 watt power supply, motherboard, all that stuff. So that'd be about $900. Probably after tax even. Okay, let me see. Alright, the pump block is in place. Let me screw these on. It might be because he tagged... No, actually one of his other non-tagged comments, and Buddy Win when he tagged me did not... I think it's just a weird... just a weird graphical thing with the app that I'm... Not the app, but the extension, actually, rather, that I'm using to highlight chats. I wish I could show it easily, but I don't want to move my camera because I will mess up this angle. All right. Alright, how are we doing on time? I mean, I'm pretty sure I could finish the rest of this, because all we have to do is to... Oh, no, we gotta hook up all the Corsair link stuff. IQ link. Okay, let me see. So, now we just need to stand this up. And we can take this off. Meg, come on. How are you gonna come off here? Yep, just these ball socket things, and then I'm just gonna get like 6 screws in here just in case. I'm not gonna put all the screws in because knowing my indecisive self, I might want to change it, and I'm not trying to undo like 12 screws. So I'm just gonna get, whoop, wrong ones. Those are the fan screws. Okay. It's gonna be these ones. Thank you for the reminder, Kevin. After I get 2 of these screws on, I'm gonna grab a drink of water. I am feeling the hoarseness in my voice. Oh, the magnet is too strong on the LTT screwdriver. Not sponsored, by the way. But it totally just grabbed it when I needed it to stay in place. I'm going to have to redo that one. I've fallen apart here. I forgot to put the washer on. Come on. So I'm going to get the 4 corners and then like two in the center. And that's going to be it. I mean, because anything past, in my opinion, like 6 screws, it's like redundancy and a little bit overkill. I'm not me when I'm hungry. So we started eating brown rice more. And this has been a recent development. So I'm not super confident in my ability to cook brown rice as much. You can't use the same like knuckle or finger increment tip trick and stuff like that. And we're cooking in the Instant Pot, so like I'm still trying to figure out the correct water to rice ratio for cooking in the Instant Pot. And I have some cooking right now, but I'm hoping I didn't mess it up because having mushy or dried rice for dinner is not ideal. Uh-oh, I messed up. I didn't put out the frozen chicken. I was supposed to put out some chicken thighs with skin that we bought from Trader Joe's. I was supposed to defrost it. I totally just cooked the rice and forgot to take the chicken out. Crap. So now we're going to have to figure out what our protein is going to be tonight for dinner. Oh, man. How could I? I have failed. Okay, I'm going to leave this loose so that I can slide it. I usually don't tighten this down until like I'm good with the positioning. So we're going to bring this back down. So this is installed. Just play with the tubing a little bit. I guess we could have a slight bend like this. That doesn't look too bad. You gotta look at it from an angle like this. Here, let me show you it at an angle. Yeah, that looks better, right? Yeah, time to order takeout. Maybe some Pizza Hut. Or not Pizza Hut. Why did I just say that? I meant Domino's. Nobody out pizzas the Hut. Okay. Now we're gonna need to get the fans in the back here. Where did those fans go? They are right here. Defrosting boneless chicken. No, yeah, we have the bone-in thighs with skin. Though that might not take that long if we put warm water. But then, isn't that a thing where you're not supposed to defrost it with warm water because it starts slowly cooking the exterior, and then something about the bacteria? I don't know, man. I'm not a pro chef, but that something like that sounds kind of familiar. All right, so we're going in with the fans now. If anything, speaking of the instructions, reading instructions, I might have to read instructions for how the IQ Link works. We just need to get this thing up and running with some RGB, and then I can figure out the OS install and all that later. Okay, so we're gonna see the rear. This is as much like time and effort and, you know, all that stuff that Corsair. Ooh, this is magnetic. This is straight up magnetic. But I think a lot of people are going to use these fans in this configuration. And the fact that they didn't do that changing hub design where you could just put a reverse fan blade on it, I think they kind of missed an opportunity there. What company does that? Is it Thermaltake that has that reverse fan hub design that you could put in? But yeah, we're gonna be running it like this, and then you get to see the fan bracing all over the place. And you get to see the wires back here too, which, I mean, yeah, it would be much cleaner to put it like this, but that does not make sense at all given the configuration we have. I mean, I wouldn't really say it's a design flaw, because until that trend came along, every fan did that. But, I mean, I feel like the IQ Link, it's such a good idea. Why not also... The reason you have the IQ Link is for both aesthetics and for functionality of reducing clutter. So why not also address the aesthetics thing, being able to flip the hub? But you know what? This is what we have to work with, so we're just gonna go with it. So these are the pieces like we saw earlier. You've got some pieces with actual connectors inside. You probably can't really see that, but this has actual connectors in it, and then the other ones are kind of like dummy filler dowels. So you put one in here. It is already magnetic, but this just keeps it in place even more. So we put this in here, and we just connect this like so. And it just pops on with the magnets. And now this isn't going anywhere. I mean, I could probably try to break it by swinging this, but yeah. Alright, we're good here. We go into the case like so. You know what's interesting too is, can I take this front off? Does this easily pop off? Or does this not come off? This looks like it actually might pop off. Let me see. Or not. It looks like it should, but is there screws? No, I'm putting a lot of force. I'm not trying to break this glass. The front glass. What is holding this thing in place? This is a separate panel. Give me a second. What is holding this thing in place? I mean, I was just trying to get a different angle to show you, but let's just not take it off. So, here. Now I gotta screw these in. But I need to find the screws first. At the end of the same day, cook above 165 degree anyways. Yeah. Oh, they've got these white tip screws, which is a nice touch. But I guess for this one it doesn't matter because no one's really going to be seeing the screws once the mesh goes on, or the perforated panel. Holy crap! Alright, I just realized something. I thought these screws looked unique, but look at this. You can't really see it because my camera is not focusing on it. But look at the design of the screw. Look how, I guess, the angle of what is that part called on the screw? It's not the teeth. The spiral, what is it called? Help me out here, I'm drawing a blank. But you see how the screw is designed? It only takes like one, I'm going to actually count how many rotations it takes to install one of these. Let me get this one in so I can get this in place. But yeah, oh my god. The days of having to screw fans in, like the thread. Yes, there we go. I've never worked with any parts that came with screws with this thread. For some reason, thread, I was going to say bread. But that was obviously wrong. It's just because it rhymed with thread. But yeah, holy crap. It just takes, like, here, I'll show. So from here to that and a little bit more. And you're done. And it pulls it in. That's actually very convenient. I actually never thought I would have been impressed by something like that. Like, I'm going to shift it up a bit. But yeah. You do not need as many turns to fully seat the screw, which is actually pretty nice. Yeah, it's like an ultra coarse opposite of fine thread pattern. Like, here, I'm gonna, let's see, so where this is on top, so I'm gonna keep track of where the top nerd on a budget is. So about, let's see, 360, yeah, 270 degree turn, and then you're done. Unlike other screws where I feel like you got to do at least 720 or something. 270 degree turn and you're done. Nice. Here's all the connectors in the back. It is all indeed accessible. So power supply time. Those are ADHD screws. Wait, why would those be ADHD screws? Because you would lose attention and not finish screwing something down if it required more turns? Alright. Got the power supply. We gotta get this thing up and running. Even if I have to speed through it and start doing stuff sloppy, I can clean it up later. But we gotta get it running. We gotta get the fan spinning. We gotta get that RGB shining. Okay, so this is gonna be right here. The nice thing is this does come with a bracket. Well, right now it's inconvenient because I have to take it off. But it does come with a bracket for SFX power supplies. Which again, I don't know. Can you guys think of a good use case for an SFX power supply in a case like this that supports standard ATX? For me, I feel like that's kind of a waste of money because SFX costs more. Because they're more specialty. And you know, fitting the same power and components in a smaller space, that's just more expensive to do. But the only reason I would think that someone would do that is if they were going from a system that they already had that was ITX and they wanted to go up to this case and they could use their same power supply, then they would do that. But that is about the only use case I can think of for using an SFX in a case that can clearly support standard ATX. Wait, where's the front I/O connectors on that motherboard? It's all in the back, and I will show you in a second here. If I can get this power supply in place. Alright, I'm going to move the phone just to show it. Hopefully when I put it back, it's still in the same angle. Okay. So, you're asking about... Oops. Is this the right way? Let me see. Yeah. So yeah, all the front I/O connectors, like the power button for the front USB, all that is at the bottom here. On the back side. Here's USB Type-C. It's all back here. All the fan headers. USB 3. All in the back. This is that Project Zero B650M Project Zero board. So. Yeah, maybe now I could show a better. Yeah, that is like the coarsest thread I've ever seen for a screw. Ever. Which made it so convenient though. I guess there would be less strength in this, but I mean, come on. These fans weigh like nothing. Like, even if you were to like, you know, jolt these around or like whatever, I don't think that's much of an issue. Like, I don't think you need that much thread strength, to be honest, for this little weight. Okay, let me see if I can put this back in. Is this right? That's not right. How did I get this to work before? Give me a second. I'm having a big brain fart right now. Okay. What am I doing? This wasn't the same angle, but whatever, we're keeping it. Okay. Is the PSU in the way, or you got enough room? It looks like I have enough room. Yeah. I mean, you make a good point. I probably should have connected those before getting too excited to put the power supply in. But the cables are gonna have to run without interfering with the PSU, so it'll fit. And good thing I don't have gigantic hands. I could get it in there. So let's start connecting stuff. Actually, we'll just undo this. And let me grab all the modular cables. I wish it was a white power supply. Yeah, so for the most part, do they make the Army 750 in white? But the only way you can really see it is from the backside. Like here, you can see the black cut sticks out. Once the mesh is on, let me see how noticeable that is. You put the mesh on. Is that the mesh actually hides it pretty well? But yeah, I would say on the backside is the most noticeable because it's not white with the rest of the case. Okay, so we have the 24 pin. Yeah, so compared to what the Carbide Air 240 used to be, you don't get the full chamber back here because of this portion of it dedicated to the front for the fans, but this is still plenty of space for cable management. And then I usually like to route stuff into the hard drive cages to like get them out of the way because I don't use hard drives, though with this case I guess I can stick some hard drives in here, but I've moved away from hard drives in my systems. Devin Does Tech says, I just bought a white RM850. Not sure if they have a white 750 though. Did you buy one in white? Did you buy your 850 in white, I mean? So CPU. Wait up. Ha! Okay. Interesting. I actually have to take out the hard drive bays because that's where the CPU power goes. And interesting. Wait up. Let me see if I can put this back in after I connect these. So we look back here. Yeah. So here's the two connectors for CPU power. I wonder if I could do it in such a way. Like, so if I bend this downwards, can these go back in? Okay, it does. It actually still fits. So I can put this back in. It's just I have to move it out of the way so I can get these connectors in. So we'll get these two in, and then those are good. That's the only thing I need to connect. There's the ARGB, but I think we're going to be controlling it via the hub, so I'm good to put this cage back in. Okay. I brought miscellaneous screws all over the place. Where did those screws just go? I just had them like a second ago. Oh, there they are. They're blending in with the desk mat. Okay, we've got... Tuck these away. Okay, so we've got that. I'm gonna plug this in now, I think. Hopefully I don't have to undo it to make room for anything. Make sure it's fully seated, because freaking plugging in the 24 pin is sometimes a pain with how stiff it is. Tuck these away. And then now I'm going to get the front I/O in. So we got USB 3. USB-C. We've got HD audio, which is all the way in the back there. I refuse to take the power supply out. I will get these connectors down here if I can get the orientation right. I will be able to get them in without taking the power supply back out. I refuse to admit my short-sightedness with putting the power supply in too early. Alright, got the AC audio in. That's the deepest one. Then we got the front panel, which thank God they did it all in one. Look at this. What? Anyone know why companies don't just make it all in one like this? For the, what, hard drive lights, reset, power on, like, what reason is there not to just do it all in one now? It's pretty standard. I don't think I've come across a case where I needed it to be separated. I know sometimes you could reroute the reset button to control like RGB or something like that. That would be the only use case I can think of why you wouldn't just want to put everything together. But this one does it all in one. So we're good to go. We are good to go here. They made life easy. Like, you would think by the year 2024, that has become a standard in PC building, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm just dude, these these hard drive cages are the cable management king right now. Like, they're the MVP. I'm just tucking literally everything into here, so I don't have to deal with velcroing, zip tying, or anything. And I think that should do a pretty good job. I still gotta do all the one link stuff. Crap. Is this magnetic? This is magnetic. Nice. Okay. Let me peel. We'll use the white one. Are these the exact same things that came with the AI? Okay. They are the same thing. So yeah, we'll use the white one. We'll keep with the aesthetic. Hey, what's up, Kenny D? Kale130 says, my current one didn't, and I had to look at the mobile book every time to make sure I get it right and squint my eyes. Yeah, or sometimes the motherboard has it on the board itself, which, dude, Kevin, you reminded me to drink water so long ago, and now I'm just seeing this. Thank you. I mean, I saw it earlier, you reminding me, but I got carried away and forgot to drink water. There we go. That should help. That should help. Okay. But yeah, look, this is... I'm just going to hold it up so I don't have to move my camera. But yeah, everything is kind of just tucked away into that hard drive cage right there. Relatively clean, has a ton of room left. But now, let me see. I got to get the graphics card. Okay, here we go. So this is for graphics card power. We've got the new connector. which I actually need to get an extension for this. I think actually, well, we'll see how it looks. But they do sell on Amazon like power supply sleeve cable extensions that might look better than this. So we'll see. We'll see how this looks. And this is gonna, what, come through the bottom or something? Probably through the bottom. I'll figure it out later. We gotta get the IQ Link stuff set up and ready to go, which, if I could do it without the manual, that would be awesome. Okay. Let me flip this back over. So we've got a decent amount of connections right here. Will this reach? Let me see. I might have to use a longer one. Here we go. I can always add more fans later too, but I'm not in the mood to screw down 3 more fans at the bottom or the exhaust one. I'm just trying to get this done. Interesting. Pull tabs. They have pull tabs on these IQ Link, so you can have something to grip on. I thought this was like tear and throw in the trash, but it's not. It's actually pretty smart. Okay, we're coming straight out from this one, probably. Like that. Oh, maybe we go into the bottom. Hmm. $707, thanks for the reminder. Does that light not turn on? Because I use... Wait, what? The hard drive activity light is annoying. I unplug it with builds I sell. Sometimes it's really bright. Yeah. Let's see. Everything is connected through this one link cable. As long as everything is daisy chained together. To make this look clean, I think there is a way to do it. I'm just trying to figure out what that way is because I'm not seeing it off the top of my head right now. How to get this like ultra clean with these less wires. Run one up here, then you gotta run this one to here maybe? It would have to be something like this. Huh. And then from this one, yeah, I think I'll route this one through the back. Alright, give me a second. You're not going to be able to see what I'm doing just because it's really hard to show like such tight angles in here. This is going to be a miracle if this works. Not a miracle, but I've never done this before. But I'm pretty sure the point of this is so long as all the parts are on the chain, it is smart enough once it gets to the hub to know what is connected and how to control that part with both power and lighting. So I just need to make sure everything is connected together, which I'm doing right now. I just need to make sure I have enough long cables to reach everything. And then we should be good. It's not going to look the cleanest, but I will take some more time off of stream to clean it up. I'll show you a close-up with the camera in a second. I just need to get disconnected. Here we go. Oh, come on. You don't need them fans. It's fine. True. I bet if I ran this case with 0 fans, it would be fine. It wouldn't overheat. As long as the CPU and the GPU has a dedicated fan, you're kind of set. You don't really need exhaust or intake fans. Like, the airflow will be kind of naturally created just from the parts. If I can, come on. This is me not wanting to unscrew the fans so I can get better access to them. Because I know doing this, I can get this in. I have faith in myself. Wait, do I even need this one? I don't need to close the loop. It's already connected. I don't think this needs to be a closed loop. It can be one link, hence the name. Okay, let me get this connector out of here. And we're just gonna, yeah, screw that. We're gonna do this. Oh, no, I wanted to. I'm being indecisive. There it is. We got that connector in. Apologies for the delay. I think we should actually be good now. Let me pull this through and I'll show you how everything is linked together. Watch, I just did this completely wrong because I didn't read the manual. But, okay. Let me connect the graphics card and then we will be good. This is kind of funny looking with the black graphics card in here. I'll tighten this down later. It's fine. We'll just put this on here for now. My confidence in this being a successful first power on is about, let's say, 75%. Let me sit here and think for a second. Oh no, I need to hook the hub up. So the hub has... It needs PCIe power. Interesting. What else we got here? It's got USB. Nope, not USB. Is this USB-C? What is this? That's micro USB. That's not it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so here's from the hub to USB 2 headers is going to be able to control. I'll show you what's going on here. So here's the hub. We have links. This is connected to the AIO. This one's connected to the fan. We have, this is power, I'm guessing, for the hub. This is basically, you know, similar to the 6-pin PCIe power. Then we've got this micro USB. Odd choice in my opinion. Let me see if this other hub is USB-C. No, it's not. It's also micro USB. Why'd they go with micro USB for the hub instead of just USB-C? I don't know, but that goes into here. This is all the data and, you know, to interface with the app on the, or the program on the computer. What do we... Oh, that's just Jen's song. And I'm missing one more 2-pin. What is that? I really don't want to read the manual. Can I figure this out? Oh, and then this is interesting. I don't know if I'll need this. Unless this is for the pump header. This might be for the pump. So there's one more connector on this. I'll show you. I'll take the phone out because we're basically done with this view anyways. See this right here? The last 2-pin goes to this. So here's your 2-pin connector, which goes to a 3-pin fan or pump. Yeah, because I'm assuming pump is... No. No, you don't need PWM for a pump. Yeah, I'm thinking this is for the pump control. I could read the guide. Do I read the guide or say screw it? We'll see if it works without. Micro USB is so 2000 and late. I agree. Here, let me get this on. And then this is very messy right now. I know. We're just getting everything just plugged in. So the nice thing is, hey, look, I can just straight up plug in the USB 2.0 right here without dealing with going to the front side. The power supply is a little bit in the way, but I just got it in right there. So that's in. I need another PCIe power. I'm curious how long this build would have taken me if I did it off of stream. All right, I am actually out of connectors because there's only 4 PCIe/CPU. I've got 2 to the CPU for the motherboard, and then because of the graphics card, it takes up 2. I'm gonna have to undo one of the CPU ones. This is actually the one time I think I might have undersized the power supply. It's never an issue, but I'm actually 1 connector short, mainly because this hub doesn't take standard SATA and I don't have an adapter for it. Yeah, it's because this expects one of these connectors. So we're gonna have to go. We should be fine with one short. It's not like I'm gonna be doing any crazy overclocking. But I might have to step up the power supply to an 850. I wonder, see, if you put this into PC Part Picker, it might say everything is compatible, but because of the new IQ Link hub, the power connector standard, you might actually come up short depending on what your graphics card and CPU and motherboard configuration is. Interesting. That was not one of the things I would have guessed would have happened with this build, but we should be good here. Looks pretty messy. Here's the fan header. We will put it to the pump fan. And there it is. As long as I don't have to order, I don't think I need to order anything. I might just have to pull something off the shelf that I have here already. But here is the build completed. The way that it is connected and hooked up right now, I'm thinking it should work. I guess I could peel these. Let's see, we've got that going on. Yeah, so pretty messy. This could be cleaner, but I'm just gonna put this, I'm gonna close this panel up because I'm fairly confident that we should be good to go here. You can kind of see through, so that's where you would want to do cable management, because when you have light shining directly on it, you can kind of, the black power supply I don't think is that big of an issue, but these glaring white cables, pretty noticeable. Okay. Whoops. I didn't put that back on all the way. And here's the front side. Oh, what just happened? So there, the link cable is coming back out of here, out of this fan, back there. And basically the AIO and the pump, which is actually pretty impressive, is all built in, like, all the wiring and stuff. It's like there's no connectors coming off of the pump or the radiator. It's all just this link cable, which here's the fan to that. And everything should be connected. Unless I royally screwed something up, but I don't think so. Because this fan, that is connected to the other side of the hub. And this is connected to the remaining side. So let me get this standing up. We'll put this on. Let me grab, I don't even have a tripod. I'm just gonna have to hold this. So here's what it's gonna look like at like this angle. Yeah, but I think it needs a white graphics card in there. It needs a white graphics card, right? Let me see if I can find a power cable down here somewhere. Got too much crap. Actually, this one might work. Is this gonna reach? It might barely reach. Make sure this is flipped off before I plug it in. Okay. The moment of truth. I mean, if you look in the main chamber though, it's pretty clean. I need to fix this. I don't know, like this to me doesn't look that great, but I mean, I have to link the two together. But here it is. Let's see if I got it right the first time. The fans are spinning. So those fans are spinning. These are spinning. RGBs on here. Screens turning on for the LCD. There it is. Actually, all the fan lights came on. It was what, 75% chance that I would have gotten it without reading the IQ Link manual. Honestly, it was pretty easy. Like, every connector on here just kind of made sense when you look at it. Maybe for a beginner, not, but if you've built at least like 1 or 2 computers, I think you would be able to kind of recognize what everything does based on the connector. But yeah, like, so each of these, the fan boxes, each of these comes with one of these hubs. So I have just now an extra hub that I don't need because, oh, you can't see it now that it's on here. But yeah, I just used the one that came there because it was white. But that there's one single hub in there is able to control. Yeah, liquid temp is pretty cool. So that, I mean, I think that goes to show that it is circulating. And you control fan power, all the RGB, pump, everything. But this black graphics card has got to go. Yeah, this I think would have looked... Yeah, imagine if it was like this. Much better, right? Or even... This one's a little short, but if you hold it like that... I might look for a different white graphics card. We'll see. I can still put more fans down here too. And one in the exhaust. So those could all get added to the link as well. And this thing will be blinged out with RGB. Let me see. The easy debug light. That's green. So I'm assuming everything's... I don't know. I don't know the MSI color codes. If anything, it might be looking for an OS or something because the drive doesn't have that. But yeah, you can see right here through the tube there's, ouch, I just hit my finger against the fan. There's the cable for the pump power. It's like routed in here. Maybe that's why they did the mesh, isn't it? So that they could hide it through here. Alright, that was the build. And now I gotta deal with a mess of a bunch of boxes and stuff. But I am excited to get Windows on this thing and see how fast it is. This thing is way faster than my own personal PC. Like, my personal system will get blown away by this thing. So it'll be fun when I do LAN on it or just use it like to test or just have it as a spare. But, okay, let me get back to the normal view as we are now 2.5 hours into stream. When did I actually start building? Bro, I think that the whole process probably took 2 hours from when I started building. Which, actually doesn't seem like it's that bad considering all the unboxing and parts overview that I had to do. Let's hope that RAM works with no problems, because I do not want to put gray RAM into there. But alright, for the last, what, 5-10 minutes of stream, I'm just going to be hanging out with the chat. So let's see, did I miss anything? Let's do an all Molex build next. I don't know about that. The thing is, it's hard to find modern day parts that even use Molex. Techie Dev said, whoever gifted me member last stream, thank you. And how am I? I'm doing well. How are you doing? Congrats. We had a pretty big gifted membership bomb last time, so you would have gotten it there or the time before that, but I can't keep track of all the different names that go through every time we get bombed. It is dinner time. We will see what we will do for dinner because I messed up. Your Team Pixel 8 now, Kevin? Dude. You know what? The new Nothing phone, the cheap one released, and I was kind of looking at that. But I don't know. When you have when you have an Apple phone, transferring all your text messages, apps, and stuff like that to the next iPhone is like really easy. It's similar to OnePlus. OnePlus has a specific app for backing up and transferring so that you can keep all your texts and stuff like that. So that's like one of the reasons why I would want to keep my phone as a OnePlus, so that when I basically mirror it over to the new phone, I like lose the least amount of stuff. But I mean, I've been looking at the 2A? Let's see, Nothing Phone 2A. That one goes for how much? That one, yeah, it's like $350. I think I just saw MKBHD's recent video on it. But I don't know. Every time a new phone comes out or like something that intrigues me, I think back and say to myself, is my phone really that bad right now that I have to upgrade? And my answer is no, it's not. My phone does not randomly crash on me. It does not feel slow when I'm having to like quickly pull up Google Maps in the car or like quickly search something. So I'm trying to ride it out for as long as possible because, yeah, phones are just expensive. Let's see, OnePlus 8 Pro. When did this come out? This phone is now, yeah, it's 2020 April, so it's only coming up on 4 years old. It's very similar to computer hardware, right? Where like, if I was sitting on hardware that's about 4 years old right now, which would put me, it would put you at RTX 30 series, right? That was 2020, I believe. Yeah. It's still perfectly capable and functional. And to replace it when it still works just fine, it's very hard to justify the cost. The white ASRock Taichi 7900 XTX might look good with the build. Let me see. I think we might have looked at that on a stream before. I mean, me being as cheap as I am, I would probably get the XT. Just because, actually, how much is the XTX? So we're looking at 740 versus, almost $300 more. Wait, what happened? Wait, what happened to the browser? Give me a second. Oh, here it is, sorry. This does look pretty sweet though. But compared to this at 740 versus 1030, I don't know, man. $300 difference. That's a phone right there. But yeah, this would actually look pretty sweet. Can I just look at white graphics cards and see, is that a suitable search term? White graphics card. 4070 Ti. Let's try to find one with like around $500. Let's go like 400 to, we'll go to like 700. Oops, no, go back. We'll sort by lowest price. Okay, yep, 4060 Ti's. This is not really white. This is silver, so that doesn't really count. Where's all the actual graphics cards? Oh my god. Is this an RTX 2070 going for $540? What are they smoking? Though this would fit well because it's a 3-fan card and it's pretty white. ROG Strix 3070. $600 for a 3070? Come on now. I actually might look into the used market for a card. I don't need a super high-end card, just for when I'm using it personally, like for LAN and stuff. A 3070 is actually would be like reasonably powerful for what I use it for, but I'm not paying $600 for an RG Strix white one. Seriously, there's no card at 700 bucks ish. Isn't there a white 7800 XT? That would be what I would be aiming for. Maybe Newegg doesn't have it. Sapphire Red Pure. Here we go. 540. Why did that not come up earlier? And it's got a hint of red. Turn the fans red or red and white on the build. That would look pretty sweet. The Hellhound one is also pretty clean. Dude, the Hellhound is like all whited out. Like everything about this, even the freaking the fins on the heatsink are white. Like spectral white. Yeah, this is as white as a graphics card. This is even more white than something like this. And I do like Hellhound cards as well. I think it's fixed to a blue glow though, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think the Hellhounds have RGB. So it's pretty much going to be an icy blue glow. We'll see. I don't know. In terms of what card to get, I'll think about it. But I think I'm leaning 7800 XT. Just because it's more of a reasonable price. That card is so white, it has its own credit score. The Hellhound has a switch to between blue and white LEDs. Oh, white? Dude, white on white LEDs would look... is that what this is right here? Yeah. And putting all the fans to white as well, that would be pretty crazy looking. I think though, I would want the flexibility of RGB just because the rest of the fans in the case are RGB. So yeah, I need to look at all the white cards available and see which ones have the most like RGB capability. I'm usually not one to like, you know, give that much thought into RGB, but because of the nature of, you know, freaking IQ Link being all over this case, I think it would make sense to pick something that can be as flexible as the rest of the parts in the system. So yeah. What's up? Dinner? Okay, finishing up. Will there be a YouTube video of this? Yeah. So I will make a YouTube video with the build, probably with benchmarks as well as my thoughts on the IQ and the case and stuff like that. Eventually, but I need to finish up with getting an actual graphics card for it, installing, playing around with, you know, the lighting and stuff like that. So I will do a video on it. It probably won't be the next video, but there will be one eventually. But yeah. I'm back, was getting dizzy from the camera moving. I need it. Yeah, so normally the camera doesn't move around that much, but my Elgato face cam, I was going to use this as the fixed camera. And then use this only when I was showing the up close. But, man, do I use my mouse that intensely? Holy crap, I've got like a smooth mark right here. But yeah, this was not working when I was trying to use it for the overmount. That's why I had to take this on and off so much and move it around. So that was my bad on that. I need to get a new USB cable for this, I think. I know the camera works just fine. It's just the USB extension cables I have, even being USB 3, apparently is not fast enough. Did I hear SSD are gonna skyrocket in price? I don't know about skyrocket. Are they still going up in price? You can still find 1 terabyte for around $50. It looks like. Let me see. Or it's looking like 60 is the more common price. So it's still slowly going up. God. That's like 150% increase from even just last summer. Dang. But think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it's only like another 20 or 30 bucks than what we would have paid. Still, everything aside from SSDs is still pretty fairly priced. So unless you're on like a super budget build, once you're in like the $1,000+ mark, the increases in price for things like SSDs, it's kind of like it gets washed into the build. I'm also out of Washington. I love the content and seeing that even in a state like this, you can find steals. You definitely can, and I am planning on going back to doing more pickup videos because, as you've probably seen this past weekend, weather has been really nice. So sunny, warm weather means way easier to set up meetups and, test parts out of the back of my car and stuff like that. But all right, Melissa is hungry. She has called for me from up the stairs. So I want to thank you all, as always, for hanging out in stream, especially for this one while I was building this. It was really fun to talk and build through the entire process. I am very glad it booted up first try without me having to read the manual. I'm not losing it. I'm not losing my touch or anything. But yeah, in terms of upcoming content, I have a couple of stuff that I am working on, but I've kind of been taking it pretty relaxed, as you probably noticed, on the long form content. Yeah, just been be pretty chill on that, but I have things lined up. I just need to get like a little bit more motivation to finish those. But the weekly streams will always be here. For me, this does not feel like work or anything at all. It is a super chill time. So hope to see you guys next week, same time, same day. I think we might move days, actually. There's a birthday thingy that we might have to do. So if so, I might change it to either Tuesday or Thursday. Probably Tuesday. I don't know if Zach has been picking up his Thursday streams, but I might move it to Tuesday next week. So just, yeah, be aware of that if you're a normal stream attendee. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week, and have a great weekend coming up. And I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.